What is perception per se? Perception, I guess I would have to say, is something that is very personal. It is very intuitive. Perception is the difference between reality, the illusion, deception. And not necessarily in that particular order per se. Perception means a lot of things. And it determines our realities and how things are going to manifest. And I lied earlier, I was supposed to broadcast a little bit later, but it's this personal time that I have while driving to the bank that's now closed. But I'm gonna go get some money at the ATM. But for the most part, my topic of concern on this little nice drive on Labor Day afternoon in Wickliffe, Ohio, I gotta say that perception means everything. Perception in itself has changed the way things have become to be historically. In sports and wars and battles, I mean, you name it. Perception has delineated and has led and has encouraged and moved societies to ways that it has made a huge precedence in the way things have turned out in history, historically. And so I gotta say is that while we can be able to perceive things in any different light, we too have the capacity to change anything in the world. Anything. And the thing of the matter is that anybody can do so. Not really dependent on how we start off our lives, but in how we are to take those things that we have learned from in our lives, from either scenario, from either presentation, from either events, from either the good or the bad, the evil, whatever. We can take those things, learn from it, and then we can, if we are able to become knowledgeable of those things, we can basically empower ourselves significantly to where if we know how to take the laws of the universe, and if we are to acknowledge the laws of the universe first of all, and then to take those laws and be able to, with our intentions, with our feelings, and with our emotions, to parallel those things together, along with our understanding, again, of universal law, we can manifest anything to our heart's content. Anything. And that's the beauty of what is happening in the landscape today. We can make things different. We can change things. And the thing of the matter is and how it pertains to the cycles and how things are set up in these times, we cannot do it alone. We must do it collaboratively together. And the reason why the world is today and how it looks towards the many perceptions through popular media is because, for the most part, we've been societally conditioned. We've been conditioned to think in a particular way. We've been conditioned to see the world upon its limitations, upon its boundaries. We see the separateness from amongst each other. But according to Thich Nhat Hanh, a world-renowned philosopher himself, Buddhist philosopher at that, he has made mention from many of his speaking engagements that the illusion lies from within our separateness. And that is so true. The illusion is the great divide, when in all actuality, truth resides from our oneness, our togetherness, that we can, if we are able to catch ourselves from amidst the chaos, that we can basically take that unknowingness of things out of all of the learned processes of heartache and the things that happen from the loss of loved ones, from the loss of a significant other through divorce, from the loss of money, from the loss of anything through anything that comes out negative, we can take that and transmutate that negative energy into something that's more positive. And once we are able to become participative entities in a state of knowing, once we are to learn from all of the negativity and the heartache, we can then transmutate what we have learned into something that was always meant to be. We can always change things, and that's the beautiful thing about once we are to awaken and become enlightened, and then to understand universal law, and then to incorporate that with the laws of manifestation through intention, through feeling and emotion, then we can start make change. But again, the most important thing, in order to make that change for the rest of the world collaboratively, we must do that collaboratively as one. The world it is today, the world is perceived the way it is today is because how we see ourselves within the self, how we see self. And when we are to see self as something that is much more grand, and for which the potentialities and possibilities are basically presented before us, right before our very own grasp, and then we can, when we are able to basically take that and to acknowledge the power that we have through inspiration and motivation, through the power of our voice, now we have something of worth, something of meaning, something of greater content matter that we can utilize to inspire and to encourage the masses. Okay, so again, these are just the little tidbits of the philosophies and the greater amounts of wisdom that have come my way through writing my own book. Again, the Book of Positive Light, Remembrance of the Heart, which was published in 2013 on 11/12/13. And along the process of that journey, it has allowed for me to also have my very first podcast, which was Quantum Mindfulness Radio on the BBS Radio Network. And from that experience alone, I've learned a great deal amount from those wonderful people there at BBS. And then I transitioned over an evolution to Web Talk Radio with Brad Saul and his people over there. And from the great amount of knowledge that I was able to gravitate towards in coaching and being coached by them, I was able to acknowledge a little bit more about the podcasting industry. And then a little voice from within inside of me, a thought came inside of me, and for which it had said to me, now you can start your own. Build it and they will come. And definitely they did. I started now a new radio station, not just a little podcast talk show, a new radio station that will be launching in December 5th, 2015, which is a Saturday. Okay. And right now we have about, I say, almost 33 podcasters, and I'm about to sign 2 more within the next 2 hours. Just someone that we had met yesterday or the day before at a vegan meetup group. He was just so very inspired with everything that we've been talking about for establishing a type of social change in the Cleveland metropolitan area. And I just couldn't hold it back anymore. And I just had to reveal to him that what me and my wife were doing in the meantime. And so he was so inspired, along him and his partner. And he called me this morning and he says, where do I sign up? So the thing of the matter is, I have some well-renowned doctors, physicians, surgeons, nurses, authors on my platform. But I don't just want to have the most well-renowned people on my platform. I want to have the local Clevelandites. I want to have the most local people within any type of community to join upon this revolution of sorts, this awakening of sorts, this grand truth revealing movement of sorts that is resounding from within. And it's a global movement. It is not just Cleveland from where I broadcast from. It is a global movement that is resounding from everyone across the globe. And it comes in spurts. And that's how the physics of things happens within this dimension of things, within the third to the fourth dimension of things. It happens in spurts and into cycles. And this energy, just the way that quantum energy works, quantum sparks basically work within any type of reality, is that it happens into spurts, collaboratively, into a network, almost type of grid-like, spider-like, web-like fashion that has a particular blueprint or design of things. And for those of you who know about sacred geometry, or even mathematics with fractals, or even the mystery schools of Pythagoras, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. So, as a caveat for this 10-15 minute broadcast on Periscope, I would just like to say that we are all as one. And when we start to realize that the walls are starting to disintegrate and to start to tear down from amongst each and every one of us, we will start to realize that we have a power to change the very landscape that we see right before us. We have that power to mold life individually, life as a community, the global landscape of things. We can change that. And it all depends upon whether we are able to awaken to the reality of the acknowledgement of self. It may sound Buddhist in nature, but I tell you what, it is very Christian. It is very Judaic in nature. It is very ancient type of wisdom, an ancient type of mentality, an ancient type of mindset, and of an awareness and of a consciousness that is coming back in full circle. And we are living those times of what people have referred to as the golden age of times, and we're living it. You know, people have focused on so much of the second coming, but guess what? The second coming lies from within you. And when we start to realize that collaboratively, the second coming will have come to us full-fold to its ultimate and to its fullest threshold of acknowledgement and awareness. Right? And so that is the caveat, the takeaway for you. And I would like to implant and plant that seed within all of your hearts on this Labor Day holiday weekend. Okay? And so with that said, bless you, namaste, satnam, in lakish alagin. God bless you.